Hey, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of the Gentleman Pursuits podcast. My name is Ryan, and how is everyone doing? Hope you are doing fine, staying healthy, staying hydrated. Remember to drink that water. It's important to stay hydrated. It's going into winter time now, and everything's kind of getting cold and dark, and it is relatively easy for us to lose track on our personal well-being, physically or mentally, no matter what. So remember, reserve some time for yourself, maybe twice a week, 3 times a week, to do things that you like. Have a conversation with yourself, be in tune with yourself. And today in this episode, we have another guest here today, piling onto the point that I just mentioned, being in tune with yourself, that I've just mentioned. From what I can see from his Instagram page, I can tell he really understands himself to express himself fully through his watch brand, as well as a really charitable and really generous, as he's one of the participants for the Time Stop project in response to the Beirut's recent tragedy. It's my greatest pleasure to have Mr. Armand Billard from Sartory Billard on the podcast with me today. How are you doing, Armand?
Hello, thank you very much for the invitation. I'm very doing fine. Yes, winter is coming and night is there. The days are shorter.
Yeah,
at least in Europe. So yeah.
Well, where are you staying right now? Like which city or country are you currently?
I'm in France, and I'm in the east region of France, not far away from the German border.
Oh, okay. First of all, I've always wanted to go to France. I actually have never been to Europe beside UK, and I've always wanted to come to Germany and Switzerland. Horology nexus.
if you one day you're visiting Paris, there is a 2 hours train ride until the city I'm living there, and then another couple of 3 hours with car, and you'll be in Switzerland. So it's kind of
That is true. It's like everything is like close to each other. Yeah.
Yeah, everything is very close in Europe.
How's the the overall COVID situation there doing?
Oh, that's tricky. Okay, now in the major cities of France, we have a curfew at night, so we are not supposed to go outside between 9 p.m. and 6 a.m. In the major cities. Not there, but for what I've known, if you want to travel within Germany has kind of states called lands, but basically like states, like in America. You need like a COVID test to travel from one land to another. So it's really restricted, and yeah.
Even within country from this region. Oh, damn. Okay.
In Germany.
Okay, so one thing about COVID is that I know it is hitting everyone really hard, but I really hope that COVID is not putting any independent watchmakers out of business. And I really, really hope everything will get back on track very soon. So first thing I want to discuss, of course, as an introduction to you as a watchmaker and your brand, which is also something I find really well done, is your tagline. Sartory Billard, take your time. What does it mean when you say take your time, and what's like the whole thought process behind it?
It's just the opposite of the world's speed today. Like Amazon is great. I'm a client. I mean, it's very convenient to have something delivered in 24 hours. But when it gets to watchmaking, and when it gets to your own rhythm and collecting or something, and especially the work that the clients that are doing with me, buying a watch is definitely not, with Sartory Billard, a click and buy mode of function. It's totally the opposite. We need to talk. We need to agree. I need to understand what you want. I need to draw and to design the ideas of my client, and the build will take 5 to 6 months. So it's a process in which I've been a designer. My education is a designer. I own for 15 years. I was a manager of my own design agency, and so I can put this knowledge to design and to create with the customer the watch that he wants. So the whole process takes time.
that is very true, because when it comes to watches, a really delicate device, which a lot of ideas and thoughts and process needs to be taken into account. You really need to take your time. It's not something you can rush. But okay, side question: were you a fashion designer or like?
No, I was a product designer.
Oh, okay. Like what kind of product?
A lot of things. I've been doing like mainly IT, computers, phones, mobile phones, medical devices, electronic devices, car parts. That was that was a consultancy agency, so we had a lot.
Damn, that is so cool. Have you ever encountered any clients that are impatient with the process? Like, let's say they place an order to be like, hey, like, can you please pick up the pace? I really want to watch now.
Yes, I would say some would want the watch quicker than others. They always understand that there is a minimum waiting time that would be like 2 or 3 months. I would say that some watches, in some very rare cases, I would deliver quicker some watches if the build is easier, if the request is doable in a shorter time frame, or for special occasion. I had this client placing an order like 3 months ago, so it should be delivered in December. But when he placed the order, he said, "Oh, I really want this for a birthday." So I arranged my planning to do so. But it's on very, very rare occasions. And most of the clients, when I'm saying, okay, this is 5 to 6 months, they say, oh, okay, fine. And actually they take all the time to refine the design and to think it over and to make changes, because until the moment I start the watch, it's only drawings. So I can very quickly make some modification, adjustments, and yeah.
Yes. So in my opinion, the reason why I was so, first of all, the name, the tagline is brilliant. And the main reason why I fell in love with your watches, your design, is because which is something that is unique, and to be completely honest, not a lot of people are doing it, is the incorporation of different cultures. From one of your more recent posts on Instagram, you showcase like a numeral design in Arabic numerals and another watch with Chinese characters, which is right. So I've actually maybe there are watches before that have done it, but your design stands out so much that I was like, this is really refreshing to see like Chinese character on a watch that is from a Western country, right? So all really unique stuff, and most of the watches you've made are also really colorful. We got like salmon color, blue. I'd say even blue is your theme color. I've seen a lot of blue colored watches.
Blue.
Yeah. So is there like a motive behind all these colors and all these different cultural incorporation that you've incorporated in the watch?
So the cultural incorporation, this is my personal love of different culture. Exactly 15 years ago, so I was 30 years old, I've been working for 4 years or something like this, and I had the feeling that I needed to travel. So I sell them. That was not a business, that was like a client's portfolio at this time. So I sell it, and I took on a journey with my cousin for 2 years, and we visited 40 something countries. And in my life, before I got married and had kids, I would travel intensively, and I had the chance to visit something like 60 countries in the world.
Wow.
Which is not that much, but it's like a fourth of all countries in the world.
Yes.
But at least it gave me a taste of different culture. And what I love also is we call it political geography. It's like how culture starts there on the geographic point of view, why it stops there, why this country has this religion, why this country has this language, why this country has this culture, different from the country, which shares like a common border, but they're very different. And I love this. So I traveled a lot. I wrote a book about my travel that was about the UNESCO sites, which is like the heritage of culture on the global and world point of view. And I found now that in my watch creation, the more interesting part is when I'm talking and dealing with people with totally different culture. I have a lot of people from the American region, north or south. Some people from Europe also. A big part of my client, I would say like 40%, something like this, is from all the Middle East or Central Asia or Middle East area, which could be divided between Arabic culture and Persian culture. So it's like two big blocks, I would say. And also from Asia. This would be Chinese or Southeast Asia, like Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore. So it goes every now and then. When I'm talking to my clients, I'm trying not to incorporate elements of their culture if they don't want to, but when they get to this point, I'm always pushing. I mean, to say, okay, you want to do something for yourself. For example, I had this morning, and I was really happy about this. I'm making a design for a watch from a client which is in Dubai, I think. And he wanted the name of his kids, or the first letter of the name of his kids written on the dial. And because our talk was in English, so the first names he gave me, the letters were in English. Okay, so we worked on this design for a couple of weeks. And this morning he said, oh, I've seen the watch that you've been doing with the calligraphy guy. I'm going to show you, the watch that you mentioned like just earlier.
Yes.
He said, oh, it happens that I know myself a guy who is making calligraphy. And so we're going to change the names and the first letter of my children in English for the Arabic letter. And I'm just absolutely happy. And I say, of course you have to. I told about this with you. If you go back to the WhatsApp communication, you will remember that I proposed you this, but it has to take time to get there, and it's really, really interesting. I'm talking now with a client that will not be the design that we will finally make, but one of the first design that we were working on was half South Korean numbers. I learned that in South Korea you don't really have numbers. You would write 12, like we would write in English TWELV.
Maybe.
And so you would write something instead of 1 and 2. And so we are working like that was half a South Korean number, and the bottom was half a Persian number, because the dad was from Iran and the mom was from South Korea.
So you combined the both? Yeah,
combined the two. After he moved on to something different, some different design, so the process went on. But that was really interesting, at least to work on this. And the Chinese watch that you mentioned, this design hasn't been represented on any watch for 150 years. Or
yes. I don't see that a lot, and I'm from Hong Kong, and that is so lovely. That is so nice, man. It's so nice. I'm lost for words to describe how nice this design is.
It's a very, very nice watch, and I'm very happy with this, because I have like just wonderful clients, as I said in this Instagram post. So I made the first design of the watch based on numbers that the client gave me.
Yes.
And I kept the indexes. Of course, I'm French, so I don't write Arabic, so my calligraphy knowledge is absolutely, now it's maybe a little bit more, but before that was just zero. And I had this very important client for me. It's a very, very huge collector, huge watch collector. He just wrote me, you know what? The letters, the calligraphy is not good. I said, okay, tell me. So he said, okay, you need to have all the same rhythm, the same balance within the letters. You need to have this energy that is the same within all the letters and between all the letters. I say, okay, that makes sense, because if I'm mixing fonts, if I'm talking like classical font we know in America and in Europe, like if you're mixing an Arial font with a myriad font and then a serif font or whatever, all everything would be like just But it's the same. It's the energy within the letter, and of course they have exactly the same in the Arabic. But I was not sensible to this, so he spent like a couple of hours with me to design this. And on top, he said, I have a friend, he's a professional calligrapher, so he will make something for you. And I showed this to the client at the end, and she loved it. And so I made again the design. That was really cool. That is so awesome, because
here's the thing that I don't think enough people understand is when you're so passionate about something, and in your case is watchmaking, you would actually enjoy the process of learning all these different stuff. Some people may find like, dude, just stop. Like, I think it's good enough. But you, because you're so passionate in your project, you'd be like, yes, teach me. I want to learn. And now you know more. And that is so nice.
Actually, I'm 9 watch out of 10 that I'm making will always stay the property of the owner, because it's so personal. Yes. I'm making another watch here. This is from Dutch collectors. I don't know if you see. And this is big letters. This is the name of his kids. Damn. I mean, this is so is Dutch. So he has 1, 2, 3, 3 kids. So it's all 4 letters each kid, obviously. And so this is so personal. So of course this will stay with him, and probably will give it to one of his kids. And I'm really making a personal watch. I'm going to show you one. I just love this project. Yes. Client. So this one has his name inside.
Oh, is that like in cursive fonts?
Yeah.
Damn, I love the green. I love the pattern.
Malachite stone, and this one has 4 letters. Also,
S-O.
3 and 9, and that's personal.
Yes. Damn, I love the indices as well.
I love doing such watches because it's absolutely personal. I mean, and it's also within the take your time. This one is really cool. Arabic numbers on lapis lazuli tile.
Yes. This is absolutely lovely.
It's really personal. It takes time to talk with the clients. At one stage, we're always getting to know more together. I mean, knowing what we're doing for life, how the family is going. And sometimes, of course, I have clients that just buy a watch saying, okay, I want this one. You want to modify something? No, I just want this one. And I have no communication. It's just like, okay, I'm paying, and the guy received the watch, and I never hear about the guy anymore. Yes. But it's maybe 1 out of 20, 1 out of 30 clients. It's really rare.
One of my biggest philosophy behind like my platform, like Gentleman Pursuits, is that I value personal connection a lot within the watch community, right? Because let's say I have a series called Tales from the Gram, which is I ask people from Instagram, like collectors, about their most memorable watch or the watch they have the most connection with, because that is the main thing, the most important thing I feel like about watches, is because we have so much feeling towards it, and we unconsciously, you know, have so much events and emotions, right, associated with it. So it is the most interesting thing about it.
It's always human, especially if you're a very small maker. I'm making this year. I would make like 60 watches. It's barely nothing. I mean, 60 watches. but it's also what I love is that I'm making so few watches that I know all the clients, and if I see a message in my WhatsApp or in Instagram something, I know that the clients own this watch. I made this watch at this time, and we talked about. I have a good memory also for persons and details and stuff, and yeah, I really enjoy doing this. And you had also a question about colors, and I think when you get personal on things, people would express truly themselves through the colors of the watches, because they are doing something unique. So
yes,
would go. They know, and I'm sure that it's known that they won't wear the watch every single day straight away. It's not your daily beater. It's just a watch that you will wear. I mean, once a week, I don't know, for occasions, something like this. So you go very personal, you go very specific, yes. You go with your favorite colors. I hope and I wish my clients they have fun making the watch.
I am sure they do. If to be honest, if I were to order one from you, I would have fun designing the whole thing. So do you usually suggest colors to them, or do you ask them what their favorite color is?
Usually they come with something.
Okay.
Usually it's most of the time the entrance key. Just I saw the malachite dial, I saw the purple one, I saw the blue, the ice blue one, the old color blue. So it's usually the color that gets the person, and then after the color we move on to the details, like what they want for the indexes, for the numbers, what kind of case they want, what kind of hand design, and at the end we talk about the strap.
Okay. Yeah, to be honest, the blue is what got me. That got me fell in love. So piling, yes, I love that. Yes. How big is that? How big? Like, what's the dimension?
It's 40 millimeter.
40. Okay, nice. Because I have a really thin wrist.
Yeah, no, it's not a big watch. It's 40 millimeters. The next one will be a little bit smaller. It would be like 38 millimeter. It's really dirty.
Nice.
I've been polishing pretty much all day, so it's full of.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. I'm sure we can see it. It's absolutely gorgeous. Oh God, I love the blue, man. I can't stress this enough. I love the blue. It's so rare to see that kind of blue now. So actually, this segues into the next question: is that would you say that the current market trend, which is colorful watches, are making a comeback? Because let's say Rolex, Doxa, and all these other different watch brands are putting out a series of rainbow colors out of like this year, 2020. So instead of like the safe black, silver, and white combination. So do you think, is it like a trend now?
I think that the big brands are just trying to get back the clients that moved away from them to the independent watchmaker that can offer some different kind of colors, unexpected designs or something. So I had a stomach feeling. I can't say if it's true or not, but do you know the brand Stowa?
Yes.
Okay, so they're making like affordable first watch that you would buy in a nice range, so 2,000-3,000 euro. Their own movement, which is like based on the ATA, or that it's kind of an ATA 701, but now it's their movement, and they're making all these very nice watches. that they really marketed for the family or the parents to buy to the kids for big events like graduation, first kids, or blah blah, this kind of stuff. And I really have the feeling that they got some clients from Rolex, and Rolex just trying to get them back with all these colorful watches. Yeah, it's interesting to see like blue and yellow and orange watches. I don't know if I would wear every day this kind of watch, which makes a little bit confusion in my head. Because if you're buying at 25 or 30 years old your first watch, you probably wear it a lot, because maybe you're not a collector at this age. So your choice when it's getting to wear your daily watch is maybe limited. Yes. And I don't know if I would go for an orange dial watch every day of the week.
Yes.
Which you would do if you buy Sartory Billard or Calligraphy, or I don't know, any other independent maker, from small guys like me or very high-end guys like Voutilainen, that can offer like much more colorful and crazy watches that you would wear maybe once in a while.
That's so true. Yeah, if I were to buy my next watch on the list is actually the Cartier Santos Dumont. Like, I'm saving up for that. I love that. So yeah, it's, on the safer side, because if I want to wear a watch every day, I'll probably go with something that can match my outfit easier, rather than like a yellow one.
That's funny that you say the Cartier Santos, because that was the first watch that I bought myself on the high-end watch. That was 15 years ago, 16 years ago.
Oh, okay. Connection. See, making connection.
So and I still have it, and I still wear it.
It's so nice. It's so nice. So all these details, all these colors, choice of material, right? We're all controlled by one thing, which is your goal, your philosophy behind your brand and your passion, right? So why don't you tell us what is your philosophy behind watchmaking, or at least, what are you trying to achieve through your brand?
I'm trying to have pleasure in my work. I'm trying to give pleasure to my clients, and I'm trying to do my best in watchmaking. But I know that I'm not a watchmaker. I had no teaching in Switzerland about how you make all the movement parts by hands, etc. So I'm self-taught in every things that I'm doing every day. I'm self-taught.
Yes.
But that gives me one disadvantage and one big advantage. Disadvantage is that I don't have this classical training, so it takes probably more effort to learn to do something and to go from one step to another step. So I have to work more than probably some other watchmakers or watch creators. But on the other hand, I'm totally free in my mind because I don't have the education. And when I decide to do something, I'm just thinking how I want to have it done, how I want that it looks like, and so I'm finding my own way to make it. Just to give an example, when I had the first watches and I needed to make some blue hands and blue numbers and indexes, all the guys I know in Switzerland, they are now my mentors, sort of. They are all from the old school or classical training. They say, oh, of course, you use some chrome steel. You cut, you polish, and you heat, and it will give you the color for the hands. And I said, okay, fine, let's try. Okay, it's working. But for the indexes, that was so big that it wouldn't work. So I'd say, okay, what kind of material do I know that can become in the color that I want if I treat it in a special way? And that was titanium. And now I can make hands and numbers and everything, and I use titanium extensively within my watch. And actually, I'm pretty much the only one, or maybe you would find one or two other brands that use it. But if you want to make like a big area in color, I'm going to show you an example.
Yes.
Like this one, all the numbers and the hands and everything.
Yes.
All
yes.
the numbers here, it's purple.
Yes.
It's impossible to do it in steel, because when you're heating the steel to get to a color, the difference between purple and blue with heating the steel, it's, if I remember well, I have some paper there, I can't remember. It's like 5 degrees. 5 degrees Celsius, and so you have like you switch from one color to the other. And if you're making a small part like a hand, you can manage it. If you want to make like a big part, like 35 millimeter diameter, it's impossible to control a 5 degree temperature. We're talking about maybe 290 degrees and 295 degrees. So it's impossible to control the temperature. And so you would have part of the indexes would be blue and part would be purple and would crack.
Right.
And so I said, okay, that's a problem. So I want to have all the numbers in the same color. So okay, I'm going to cut titanium. I'm going to black polish titanium, and I will oxidize titanium. And when you oxidize titanium, you have one color on all the levels.
Nice.
And so everybody think, wow, how do you do this? I mean, how do you make it in steel? Blah blah. I say, I don't use steel. Why? But everybody's using steel. Yeah, that's fine.
That is so cool. That's like in the Iron Man 2 when Tony Stark discovered that new element or something like that. You discovered a new metal to get that color. That is so cool.
It's just thinking a little bit out of the box, and it's a chance that I don't have this classical education, because I can. Sometimes I'm designing and making things, and then I'm presenting this to these mentors in Switzerland. And when I'm explaining, I'm going to make this and fix it like this and this, and they say, I mean, you're insane, you're crazy. I mean, it won't work. And after I make a prototype, I say, like, it works. Yeah. It's like. Okay, I love titanium, and so like for 1 year or something, we've been working on cases to polish cases in a very specific way, and polishing titanium is very hard. I was doing this all day long, and we polishing some cases, and if you polish some cases in titanium, so you can have also you can oxidize the case, and then you can have.
Wow.
You can have cases which are entirely made.
It took all day. Damn, this is so nice.
And it's really okay. Now it's dirty because this is a first prototype, but it's resistant.
Yes.
The layer is quite. It's not easy to scratch actually. That's quite a nice surprise. And also I can now have it in an old wide range of colors that I'm working on. So it could be gold, it could be blue, it could be purple, it could be like.
Yes, sir. You, sir, have discovered a new way. Pioneered.
I didn't discover it. I'm actually, some brands are doing it. The Between is doing this. I never hide my admiration for the Between. It actually because of them that I discovered titanium, and I discovered the amazing color of titanium, and that I just worked really hard to say, okay, how can I make it? And how can I make it in a watch that I can sell? And because I'm no watchmaker, I mean famous or something, I can't sell a watch like for 30,000 euro. It doesn't make any sense with my name and brand today. So how can I make it and make a watch that will cost 3,000 euro? And so this is where I've been working, and now working on this kind of parts is for me very, very exciting, because it's another step in all the next watches that I will make, and yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it is very cool. So this perfect segue again. So you said how making these parts, give you the most excitement, or you feel like satisfied making these watches. So before the start of the episode, of course, I have to do some research. I've been scrolling on your Instagram, I gotta see what I can get out of this. So I found this one picture, which is from 49 weeks ago, and it is the post caption. It is Salon du Made in France, Paris stand F22.
Yeah.
And yes, and then I think in French. Yeah, I think in French, as you said, I'll be waiting or something like that. I won't be trying to pronounce that in French.
Salon du Made in France is the show, the Paris show for made in France, French made or produced company. And so I've been attending this show last year. That was quite interesting. That was really interesting.
Yes, and the reason why I picked this out of all the watch pictures you've posted on Instagram is because just from the caption and the picture, I can feel how excited you were for the event. And as you said yourself, you're starting out and you are trying to make a name for yourself, and you're trying to get your brand out to the public. And I myself, as someone that is also starting a project that is just at the beginning, every time when a new opportunity or something or someone recognized you or me, I feel super happy about that. It's just like, oh my God, it's my chance to shine, right? So from this, I can feel how happy and excited you were, showing us how you're going to set the booth up, all these different glass case and posters and stuff like that. So beside watchmaking, which is obviously your passion, what is something outside of watchmaking that you find super contented doing or satisfying?
I would say cycling on the seaside or this kind of stuff, being outdoor, just being outside.
Okay.
I as I said, I had the chance to travel a lot, to do a lot of different. I'm 45 years old, so I had the chance and the time to do many things.
Yes.
That would be motorcycling. That would be extreme sort of sports, traveling, and now that life was really busy, really intense. That was also being lived at a very high pace, very quick pace.
Yes.
And now for 3 or 4 years, I enjoy also to take care and to get to see much more my kids that I used to see them before when I was working in Paris so much. Now we are living outside, in the countryside, so everything is a little bit more slow. And so I'm enjoying just not relaxing, but enjoying life on
like more, taking in every moment of what you're doing.
And mostly being outside, being outdoor, cycling outdoor, being at the seaside is things that I really love. When I'm married, I have 2 kids that are 10 and 8 years old. My wife is a hospital doctor, so she could work at day, at night, on weekends. So the life is very, very full. So when you're getting out of working, taking care of the kids, doing the house stuff, and break.
So would you say you're able to, let's say, when you get out of work, can you shut your mind off completely? Like, it's just life now. Okay, I'm gonna enjoy family time. No working. Can you do that?
It's difficult.
I can't, because for myself, I can't. I don't know, for some reason, My mind's just.
I've been doing this. I've never been actually. No, I'm on 23 or 24 hours years of working. I was 2 years employed by somebody else, and so I've been self-employed and self-maintaining for more than 20 years. So basically, what I want to say is that working is when you are self-employed. This is not a 9 to 5 job. It's like 24 hours.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'm really forcing myself not to have the phone, not to think about watches or something. But sometimes also I have to say to my wife, even if it's like Saturday afternoon or something, okay, now I have this client, it's just pinging and there is very interesting project, so I will take 1 hour. Is that okay with the kids? So I will take 1 hour and go back to work and just deal with this project that is coming. And of course, yeah, it's fine. But yeah, it's pretty much
right. I mean, the only important thing about this is that you are enjoying every second of it, though, right? Life, work, and just if you're enjoying it, you're not working, you're enjoying your passion, you're doing your passion project, right?
It's always a pleasure to push the door of my very small workshop every morning, but much more interesting than some of the works I've been doing before. And yes, it's really important to do something that you love. That I feel very blessed and I'm very grateful to do the job that I'm doing today. It's
nice. Yes.
Some days are just very exciting, are just wonderful. Some days are hard. Some days are very bad because, I mean,
it can be stressful.
Work, but at the end of the week, when you're looking back all what I've been doing, it's very, very enjoyable.
I loved every word of what you just said, everything. I resonate with it fully. But, there's no bright side, there's always downsides, right? There are always ups and downs in any journey. So we talked about happy things in your career right now that you've encountered. I'm sure there's something that you may have been unhappy about or regret that you didn't do it like that. So from the beginning of your brand, Sartory Billard, until now, have you have any regret about something, or I wish this watch would have turned out this way, or something you would have done differently?
Always at the beginning of the brand, I realized now that I have been doing watches for myself and not for the client. So there were watches with a very specific design and that only me would like, I would say. Mm-hmm. So some of the watches that I've been making were not good success on the business point of view, and so it had to change gears and to work on different. But it's hard to say regret on anything, because when I am looking back all the models that I've been doing before, and even the one that were not selling good, actually I've been learning something. So every step was important, and probably if the road would have been so smooth from the beginning, I wouldn't be there today. So I don't know what to say. There are always after also you can say, oh, maybe this thing or this design or this make, I could have make it better, or I could have deal differently. But it's learning every day, every week. I'm learning something different. What I said, I had a client contact me again a few months ago, and he would say, oh, I like my watch, but for the next, and I say, okay, you know what, the watch that you bought 1 year ago, now I'm doing better, and in 1 year I will make better. So it's interesting if you get a watch at a certain point, but it's not the pinnacle. It's not, you're not buying a watch today saying this is best watch in the world. I mean, if you want the best watch in the world, buy, I don't know, Artelier. This guy is just magic. Or Vianney Alter, or or Roger Smith, if you like very classical design, or Dufour, if you can find one. But if you want to embark on something and to work on a different design and make your watch, and probably consider that now you will get a watch by me, and then in 2 or 3 years' time you would get another watch, but following my journey, following how I'm making things.
Yes.
I know where I was 2 years ago. I know where I am today. I have a roughly idea where I want to be in 1 year.
Yes.
But God knows where I will be in 10 years' time. Maybe I could do the same watches.
Yes.
Or maybe, I don't know, crazy watches.
Yeah.
Make the talk be on myself. I have no idea what you
And yeah, I completely agree with you, because also for people that are listening right now, piling on to what Mr. Billard just said, is that perfection is non-existent, but the pursuit for perfection is there. So it's all about chasing what's better, what's the next best, instead of thinking, oh, I have to make this one the best. And that is like a really important mindset.
I'm trying to make every watch that I'm doing the best watch that I can make.
Yes.
But if I compare, for example, when I look some Instagram posts on macro photography, on a Grobel Forcé, on a Grand Seiko, or I don't know, on De Béthune or something, and you see these micro shots and you say, oh God. I mean, when you see the Grand Seiko, that they are polishing the sides of the hands perfectly, the side, we're talking of something which is 0.2 or 0.15 millimeter thick, just the side of the watch is like razor shape, polished. You say, oh,
yeah, it's like the new I think the Piaget watch, which is like really thin. I think it's
2 millimeters.
And to be honest, like I think 2 weeks ago I sat down with Arno from MBNF. He's the communication manager from MBNF. I do not know how MBNF make their watches. They look like spaceships. It's so complicated and amazing. But
yeah, they have a fantastic team. They have very fantastic case maker. They have a great movement maker. They also take the necessary time to make the watch as best as possible, and of course the price reflects this.
yes.
It's always it's like if you want. For me, I think what is the absolutely best on finishing or something, it's Grobel Forcé. Grobel Forcé are just maniacs on the finishing. Every screw has to be polished everywhere. It's just insane. But the price reflects this. So
that is true.
But if you want to have something which is already absolutely amazing in finishing and more affordable, just buy a Grand Seiko, and you are at, I don't know, let's say 80% of what Grobel Forcé achieve for 1% of the price.
I actually have a different recommendation. If you want to buy something that's more affordable and amazing, I would go with Sartory Billard. That would be my suggestion.
It's I'm making watches that are really personal.
Yes.
I had a client which is a very known collector in Australia, and somebody was asking about the brand one day, and he was saying something that I respected a lot. He said, "It's Sartory Billard. It's definitely not the first watch that you should buy if you're starting a collection.
Yes.
But if you're going into the independent world, this will be considered at one stage, because it's an approach of the independent watchmaking. And I'm probably not the entry level, because there are other watches and also other makers that are making like 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 euro watches.
Yes.
But in my way, yes, it's interesting, and it can give you a feeling of what can be a bespoke experience in watchmaking.
Yes.
And after, of course, if you're a collector and that your finances allow this, then you can move and ask, for example, De Bethune to make you a bespoke watch, because they would take this order. Or
Yes.
you would ask Louis Moinet to make you a special watch, or any brand that you know as an independent can make you a bespoke watch. Moser is making a lot of bespoke watches that
Yes.
are not displayed in the shops, but they are probably 10 times more expensive than Sartory Billard.
That is true.
They are fantastic watches, actually.
I mean, but every brand, including, you know, your brand, has different selling point. And Mr. Billard, I gotta say, after this interview with you, I fell in love with the brand all over again. You know, now I know more about you as a person, your thought journey, your philosophy behind the brand. And I wish this passion of yours of horology it's going to burn brighter than ever. You know, it's gonna continue to make this into something bigger and greater. Sartory Billard, strong name with a stronger man behind. Thank you once again, Mr. Armand Billard.
Thank you very much, Juan. That was a pleasure to talk with you today.
It was such a pleasure to talk with you. I enjoyed every second of it. And this is Ryan from Gentleman Pursuits, and I will see you in the next episode.
Bye.